My name is David McQuillan, and on today's Tech Talk with ATG's Reality Capture team, we'll be going over importing and specifically the Smart Align function in Register 360. So I have already created a new project, and it's called Smart Align, and this is the first screen that we can see here. So the first thing here is the background image. We can choose from map, from file, or none. In using the Smart Align function, I think it would be a good idea to either do from file, which is if you can look up the address on Google Maps or Google Earth, something with a satellite view, and just do a screenshot, save as a JPEG, bring it in here from file, or we can go with from map. So we could look up the address here, or we can just go ahead and navigate to it as well. So here's the property. We did external scans here. That's the example I'll be using for the Smart Align. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do get image. Now it's saved here. And now that this image is there, I'm gonna go ahead and drag and drop some of these scans. All right. So now that we have the scans that I brought in that we can go ahead and import, let's go over some of the importing options. So first of all, we have auto black and white targets. So it'll automatically find black and white targets, and then auto sphere targets, which is the same thing. The black and white targets will probably be more of like a sheet with a target on it, whereas the sphere ones are very specific to LiDAR scanning. Then you have the auto cloud, Smart Align, and pre-registered. Before I get to those, I'd just like to clarify one of the greatest things about the Leica scanners and Leica software and products, things like that, is you can do registration in the field or you can do registration here in the office. And in either case, no targets are necessary unless you're planning on using them as control points, trying to get your data on some sort of specific coordinate system, things like that. So most of the time we won't be using these, right? So I'm going to go ahead and click off both auto targets and then the auto cloud. So the auto cloud and the Smart Align functions are great if you did not do any field registration. And what will happen is that the software will attempt to create links and add registration to your scans automatically. Now, because it is doing that, it's testing one link to another, and it could be a very lengthy process. So they put in this Smart Align function to increase the speed. Basically, it's a way to help out the computer doing your automatic registration. Now, of course, if you did the field registration, the pre-registered is what you want to choose. And if you're not doing field registration, if you don't have a tablet with Field 360 on it and you're doing, I would strongly recommend that. It's actually a very easy and straightforward process. And by the time you get back to the office, most of the work is already done, which is great. So in this scenario, I'm going to talk about the auto cloud with the Smart Align function. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. All right, so now my scans over here, they're numbered, right? So I was out in the field. I can recall where each one was as I went around this building. So I can just literally just drag and drop. And as I drag and drop, we're getting an indicator that they have been placed. So, and these are just sort of, they don't have to be perfect, they don't have to be exact, but you're basically just giving some sort of help or indicator to the self auto registration here. So once we've got those placed, we can go ahead and do Smart Align by time. Now we've sort of created preliminary links. We can, so at this point, we can go ahead and just press import, but I'll just go over these quick options right here. So import images. So if you've scanned in the field and you had images working at the time, you can choose not to import those now. Here's something that's kind of cool. The import images, you can uncheck this now. It'll make it a faster import. And then later on, let's say after you're done with your registration and you didn't want to use those photos for your registration, you're just sort of using the point clouds, you could add them later. So I guess what I'm saying is if it's important to you to get this data in quickly, you could uncheck this, not do the images, and then just add it in later. And then filter points by distance, which I think is probably a good option for exterior scans because we don't really need points, far out away from our object of interest that we're scanning around here. So with that all being said, I can go ahead and press import and, it'll be a faster import. We'll be reducing points here. We'll be, unchecking the images here, and then we're giving it some help with this smarter line here. So hope you enjoy the Tech Talk. This is David McQuillan. Thank you again.